What's going on, Cubs fam? We are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. I am super excited today to announce that we are going to be now having a weekly long-form discussion video. Like I've been calling these whale chats before, where we bring on some heavy spenders in the game and we discuss the current state of the game and everything that is going on in the game. We're not going to limit that now to just whales in the game. We're going to kind of open it up to just general community members, people that I know that are very involved in this game. That panel will probably change a little bit as the weeks go on, but it will be a long-form discussion weekly, discussing kind of what went on in Galaxy of Heroes in the last week. And this week, we do have quite a lot to discuss with the addition of new characters, etc. And so, let me introduce our first group of panelists. We have got 4 joining us today. The one and only Fulbright, Quaid, Rambam001, and Ranger J1999. How is everyone doing today?
Pretty good, Cubs. Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Hanging in there,
yeah. I like how the first thing we hear from Ranger is this deep breath, just...
It's like, let me just
here we go again. We got to talk about this game.
I don't like them kind of people in that Cubs fan. Let me tell you, let me get ready right here. I'll tell you what.
All right, so everyone here has been on the whale chats before, so thanks for coming back, and we'll just jump right into it. I wanted to get everyone's general thoughts on the new character we got. Well, here's the first thing we really got to ask: is it 3Bacca? Is it Chupio? Is it something else? What are we calling this guy?
It's 3Bacca Shakur, god darn it. It's 3Bacca Shakur. That's what
Thug
we're going
life!
3Bacca. All right.
I'm good. I'm down with that. That works for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rambam, which side of the fence are you on?
I just want a character that's fun to use. I don't really care what the name is.
I don't care what we call him. Okay. Well, there we go.
Thug life.
Rambam's being a little party pooper here. He doesn't want to have fun. He just wants to play the game. So that's fine. That's fine.
we got the Death Row Squad. You got 3Bacca. You got OG Han. You got OG Chewie. It works out perfect. It's the Death Row Squad.
Here's what we're gonna have to do. We'll have to do a poll on Twitter or something and see what the community votes on. I'm looking at the Twitch chat right now because we are recording this live on Twitch. Which, by the way, if any of you want to come and see these videos live as we record them, we are doing them every Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. We got a lot of votes for Chupio, a lot of votes for 3Bacca. It seems to be kind of between those two for the most part, with a couple other ideas sprinkled in. So, okay, so let's jump into this first of all, and I want to direct this to, let's say, Fulbright. You're a player who, would you say you whale on pretty much every marquee, Fulbright?
For the most part. There's a couple of them I've skipped, but for the most part I do, especially if I think I'm going to have an immediate use for them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how does 3Bacca... I'm calling him 3Bacca. How does 3Bacca fit into your analysis on his worth? Is he very worth the whale? Does he have a lot of immediate use? Is he just kind of, where does he sit for you?
I personally think that he has immediate use. Unlike a lot of people that think he's like the instant SLKR killer, I disagree with that.
I do too.
But I do find that he has an extreme use. He's a plug and play with all these other characters that we don't normally use.
Yeah.
That you've had to relic up to unlock other things, and you can throw him into obviously the C3P or the CLS comp and kill just about anything else. Plus, it's a guaranteed win on a cleanup against a Galactic legend. So if you can go in and you can heavily wound it. It's a guaranteed one shot. So instead of like in a territory war, instead of a 4 or 5 battle thing,
right?
Now you're down to a guaranteed 2 shot. That's instant value in my mind.
Cool. So the value is definitely there for you, Fulbright. Quaid, you're kind of in the same camp as Fulbright? I know, if not more so, whaling on most characters. Do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, he's got a use. Now, I'm not gonna whale out and get the crystal pack. I took him to 4-star, and I'm just going to wait 30 days and then buy him out of shipments. But because I don't think he's not like a Nest, something like that where it's like total plug and play. You got to have him. I don't
Right.
think it's anything like that. But I agree with Fulbright that he is a good character, immediate use in TW for sure.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that TW you said. I'm more excited. So you guys are the territory wars like mongrels, just absolute, territory war crazies. And I mean that in a good way. I'm kind of that way with Grand Arena. Like I get up for Grand Arena. I get super excited for Grand Arena. What I love about him so far is it just looks to me like there's a lot of different places I can use him. He's got that flexibility of being able to run in a droid team, being able to run in a rebel team. You can run him with CLS. There's been some usability with second class rebels, maybe saving your CLS Han and Chewie and being able to take out some pretty high, decent teams like bounty hunters and that kind of thing without using CLS Han and Chewie because of 3Bacca, and so I'm seeing a lot of that use there. But of course, for me, I'm now on the whale side of the fence here as I got him up to 7 stars, took him to relics. They again in big part thanks to the Cubs fam. But we got some other people, other side of the fence here. We got Ram Bam in the chat. I know Ram Bam, you did make a commitment recently to stop spending on the game. I believe you're still sticking to that, or are you still are you going back to spending now, or are you still holding out your no spending pledge?
Still stuck to it, Cubs. Ever since our last chat, I have not haven't dropped anything out of my own pocket.
Okay, so from where you sit then, as the resident no spender in the chat, how do you feel about 3Bacca and his worth, and what are you wanting to do with him, or are you just kind of looking at him from afar?
I want a whale. I see instant value. I like the character. I like what he can bring to the table. I have not had the chance to play with him yet. I had to work all day yesterday, so unfortunately I didn't get a chance to really play the event. I'm going to do that later on today. But he looks fun. The kid looks amazing. I see a lot of teams I can run with him, and I want to get him at 7-star, but I'm waiting until I feel better about CG. And they're on the right path. I just don't feel like they're there yet. I think that'll come after Galactic Challenges, maybe.
So in your case, the no spending pledge is not game related. It's definitely CG related. And I think I was kind of on the other end of the spectrum where it was more personal related, not CG related. And so I would say I don't know if I have confidence that you're going to come back to spending if you're waiting on CG, but hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully something changes there. Ranger, you're kind of in between. You're not a no spender. You're not, from what I've seen, you're not like a Uber whale either, Kraken, or anything like that. How you feeling about 3Bacca's worth? Are you gonna whale on him? Where are you at on the spectrum?
Well, so for certain characters, I don't mind whaling out, right? I kind of go character by character, right?
A little more selective for you, right?
A little bit more selective. It's not a matter of if I could do it. It's a matter
of what percentage of characters would you say? So if the next 10 marquee characters, how many of them would you be likely to whale on?
It depends. I can't give you a definite answer. So I'll give an example, like when the Mando, Kreef, and Car came out, right?
Yeah.
No hesitation, got Mando and Kreef. I looked at their kits.
Okay.
I loved the characters, and and the kits looked really good. I thought they made bounty hunters exceptionally good. I didn't mind whaling out and getting those characters, right? Immediately relicing them and putting them on, and I've had nothing but fun since. But I didn't do that for Kara because that's my girl, and I love her.
So from a fan standpoint, you like her, and you're an MMA guy too, right?
I love all the MMA.
Yeah, if you follow MMA, she's
I've got the Black Series figure of her. I mean, I think she's great. But her kit just didn't fit anywhere, and so I'm not going to whale out on a character like that. So I'm on the fence about Chewie. I'm going to give it a little time just to see how everything plays out. Be a little bit patient with it. I'm more concerned about finishing what I need for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So if I'm going to finish whaling on something, it's going to be that before I get Chewbacca. 3Bacca.
Yeah.
I still got 30 days, so it's not like I can't go back in after the fact and go have some fun.
You got some time to see how it plays out.
Yeah, see how sometimes how it all plays out. See if CG is going to make any changes or anything like that, and then finish Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I mean, if all works out, maybe I'll do Kylo Ren and maybe get 3Bacca. Thug life. But yeah, I'm just more selective. It's not that I don't mind spending. I do, but the character kit, it has to make sense to me, and it has to, in my eyes, be worth it. And from what I gather from you guys, you think it's worth it. So that's kind of my mentality. I'm just not there yet with 3Bacca.
Okay, cool. So you're kind of wait and see. You're not. It sounds to me like you're not really saying no. You haven't been convinced yet.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's definitely something that I empathize with. I mean, for me, I'm taking all of the money that I'm spending on this game to Supreme Leader Kylo because I don't have him, and I've decided, since I went back to spending, that I'm going to go for a Galactic Legend. He's the clear-cut best choice in my opinion. I don't know if that's really an opinion anymore about Supreme Leader Kylo being the more worth it choice, and so all the money I'm spending, I am devoting towards Galactic Legend Kylo. In my case was a bit different, of course, because the community wanted to have fun. The community funded the whale, and so that's why I was able to go do that. And so it's a little bit different for me. But if I were given, me personally, I think I empathize with your dilemma, Ranger. Right now, if I was deciding between whaling on 3Bacca or finishing off Supreme Leader Kylo, I'm still going to finish off Supreme Leader Kylo. So I want to shift the discussion towards these counters because we are seeing a lot of counter videos surface, and we've seen, and Fulbright and I had a discussion on this about countering Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and how there are just so many different counters out there and kind of what that means for the game. Have you guys, let's direct this over to maybe Quaid. I'll give you a chance to tackle this one, but I'm assuming you've seen some of the counter videos. How are you feeling about the viability of using 3Bacca as a counter for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren?
Well, I mean, I won't be. I
Okay.
think, like Fulbright said, as a cleanup. But I really like as far as going against Kylo, I like the Vader comp, which was, to CG's credit, they reworked Vader, and it was a gimme. To anybody who's been playing the game for any amount of time, that was a total gimme.
Maybe the best gimme they've ever done.
Yeah, exactly. And I also felt that way about Jedi Knight Luke.
Mm-hmm.
To anybody who was playing the game for any amount of time, especially over a year or two, you had those characters, you had everything ready to go. Like I think I had one character, I think it was Lando, I had to bring up. That was it. So I felt like that was a gimme. And they make it easy. I take my Luke against Rey, and I take my Vader against Kylo, and as long as you got the mods right and the comp right, and you play it a couple times to get the feel for those teams, you can beat the Galactic Legends. May not always be clean, but you can get them down.
So based on what you're
I don't
seeing,
think you need. Yeah, I don't think you need Backpack Chewie for that, unless you want him for a cleanup team.
Backpack Chewie. There's so many. I don't know if we've ever had a character with less consensus on what to call him. This always seems to be a thing, right? Whenever a new character comes out, it's like, what are we going to call this character? What's the community consensus going to be? And a lot of times we come to something quick, but it's taking a while with 3Bacca, 3Pac, Chew PO, and Backpack Chewie, whatever we're calling him. So, okay. So you're still feeling like Vader is the more viable counter. So where are you going to use him then? What because you still sound excited about the character. What are you most excited about for his use?
Well, I mean, you can make a separate from CLS Han Chewie. Now with Kara, Backpack Chewie, and some other rebels, you can make a B squad rebel team for your GAC, for territory wars, territory battles. I think he fits in that, but it also depends on where CG's going with this. If they come out with some more rebels, Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back tunes, then maybe there's a new rebel comp that's going to be coming down the pike. I don't know. But as of right now, I feel like he's a B squad character.
B squad, like B squad rebels. You mean that's where you want to use him?
Yeah.
Okay. How's everyone else feeling about that? Where are you guys wanting to use him?
B squad rebels. I see instant use with. I mean, yeah, obviously you can use them with CLS and everything, but I mean, I'm really excited to take my Wedge off the bench, or take my Jyn Erso Lee off the bench, or take
Akbar.
take the I don't know what's the
Yes.
characters that we just had relic for Jedi Luke, Rolo.
Yep, exactly.
I
Yep.
can actually have a good character to run with them, and they're not a completely useless squad. They're brought up a tier, if you will. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And you bring up a good point, and this is something I'd actually kind of like to hear everyone's thoughts on with the B Squad Rebels, Rolo and Sholo, characters that we farmed up for Jedi Luke or are farming up for Jedi Luke. And if you remember right, in that phase, the more difficult phase of the whole event, we had 3Bacca. We were working with him in that phase with Rolo. And I don't think Captain Han was in there, but Rolo was in there, and it was man, that team could really do pretty well when you got the attack strategy right. Are you guys expecting / hoping to see a Rolo Cholo rework to maybe have a more solid B Squad Rebel team? Maybe bring in a new character or two along with the new Chewbacca?
I don't know if they're going to do that. I think if they bring in new characters, I'm really convinced, and I've been saying this for a while, that we're going to start getting some Endor stuff. With like General Han, General Leia, that
an
kind
actual
of stuff.
A usable Leia in this game would be awesome.
Yeah.
I guess even with the new 3Bacca, just Captain Han and Rolo just. Even Jin Lead is still, their kits just, I mean, I know Chewbacca, it adds a lot to it, but it's really hard. If I'm going to use it, anywhere, it's going to be with CLS, right? Especially like GA, right? It's going to be on that CLS team. I'm going to use it to overpower something.
So you don't want to use him as a B Squad Rebel. You want to put him in your A Rebel team.
Yeah, until we get some more rebels that I consider, it breaks my heart that I've got Captain Han and Rolo and Lando at Relic 3, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a certain character to make you do. It's like Rose Tico. It's like she's there.
There she is.
She's there, yeah.
Tenacity up.
Resistance pilots. I had to do it, but
yeah.
But I'm more excited for that than I am for trying to figure out something with the characters that, in my opinion, still suck. I'm more excited for like a General Han, General Leia, get some. Hell, even give us a Endor Rex, man. That'd be pimp, Form a new squad with Rebels, and at least have some synergy with Jedi Luke. I mean, just kill me. No Rebel synergy with Luke. God, stop it.
So maybe
General Lando, that'd be great.
Oh, General Lando.
God, that would be great.
So maybe no rework on Rolo or Captain Han, but I do think it's very likely that we see another marquee character, at least one, maybe two, come with this. If that's the case, let's speculate. Who's coming with 3Bacca? Who do we got from that era that would make sense?
Well, you got like if they're doing Return of the Jedi, which is what I think they're doing, you've got Jedi Luke, you've got Backpack Chewie, you're going to see an Endor Leia or General Leia, possibly an Endor Han, a General Lando.
Ooh, I like Endor crew,
Ewoks,
man.
Rex.
Yep.
But this Backpack Chewbacca, I mean, do you think it makes sense to bring in like Endor characters because he was from that specific moment of the film? But I don't know. I don't think that'd bother me. I don't feel like I need to get that lore specific.
We could go CLS, the new Chewbacca, with like, or maybe could you on the say the new Endor team, you could bring like old school Chewie from from the CLS squad on there, and then have the new Chewbacca on there. You could it just gives you more options, right, for what you can do with the Rebels.
Drew in the Twitch chat had a very good idea to bring in Mon Mothma. That's somebody that we haven't. We talk about this every once in a while, but I haven't seen much traction for that. Man, wouldn't that be interesting to bring in Mon Mothma?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean,
new rebel leader. I mean, we don't have like right now after CLS. I mean, we've got other rebel leaders, but I don't think we have anyone that's really a fantastic rebel leader outside CLS.
Right.
So, Interesting.
Good point.
All right. Now another question I've got for you guys and kind of where your mindset is at and your experience in this game. I think anytime a new marquee character hits, something else that I'm going to start thinking about is, are they going to be needed for something else, right? Be it a legendary event, be it a Galactic Legend. How do you guys feel about the possibility that this could be a character that is needed for either a legendary Galactic Legend kind of event down the line? Do you think that's likely?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Very likely.
CG's history. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you guys think? What's it going to be needed for?
Well,
Oh boy.
they could do a Master Jedi Luke. You know, right now it's just he's Return of the Jedi Knight Luke.
Yeah.
It makes
And
sense.
so, yeah, and I mean,
Wouldn't
if
Master
they're gonna
Jedi
do
Luke,
more-
like in Return of the Jedi, I'm trying to think. He basically wears the same outfit the whole time, right?
yeah, that black outfit. Yeah.
So it would just be the same character model?
I'm not sure where
No.
3Bacca would fit with a legendary. Like,
Yeah.
I think they will do a legendary because obviously it's CG and that's given their history. But it's I'm trying to figure out who, because 3Bacca was only a certain period of time. Like it was only on Bespin, only for a short while. So
I mean, you could
We
say the
already
same
have
thing about Rolo
Leia.
and Cholo, though.
I mean, who's more legendary than Leia?
Slave Leia.
well, so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yes! Now we're talking!
No. So here's the thing, right? Is we've all been speculating that they're going to bring a new Leia. The one that's on Bespin, we don't have her in the game, right?
That's true.
Oh, interesting.
We don't have
Okay.
Bespin Leia. And so what if that's going to be the next legendary is Bespin Leia?
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be.
That's a good point.
That's
You
intriguing.
do. I mean, you do have Hoth Leia, which is Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it's the same movie. I'd rather see an Indoor Leia. You know.
Yeah, I'm seeing
yeah,
the chat ask
sure.
for that too. Yeah, Endor Leia.
Yeah.
Endor
I'd
Leia's
rather
hot.
have a Leia, really, but you know.
Something
I'd like
else,
to see
a
Jabba the
random.
Hutt too, but I don't know if that's going to ever happen.
So here's a thought process for you guys that I have, and that is that for the CLS, for the Jedi Luke event, we technically use the event version of 3Bacca, right? And so does that exclude him from being used in future legendary events, do you think, because of that, or no?
No.
No?
No.
No, I think that 3Bacca has kind of like three different goals that they're trying to do with him. Number one, he's built and designed for light side TB. He makes the Rebel team viable again in TB.
Yep.
Okay. So that's number one. Number two, they can use him to justify a rework touch up on Lando Lobot to create that type of era of the Bespin stuff, which could lead to a new character like Bespin Leia. And basically the third reason why they brought him out is so they can make money from, morons like me and Quaid.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, okay, interesting thought process on that. I'm really intrigued by that. We'll have to wait and see. I think what will probably really define, in my view, if we're going to see 3Bacca needed for a legendary event is what comes next. So if we're wondering, are we going to need him for something? Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But if they don't bring in any more marquee characters in, I'm not sure if we will. But if they bring out 3-4 more marquee characters from the same era, then I think it becomes a lot more likely that we're building towards something like that. And I would love, so I keep thinking about maybe a Galactic Legend version of Luke, but I would love a new version of Leia. I think out of all the characters in the game, main core characters right now and for a long time, Leia is probably one of the most well-known iconic characters from the Star Wars trilogy that is just not very good. One of those central characters. Luke has been great. Han has been great. Leia, not so much for a long time. She had a stint in the meta in the early days of the game, but it's been a long time since she's really had, I think, probably solid viability. Another random question I had, this is just off the cuff, but I was thinking about 3Bacca being in the Jedi Luke event. I wonder for those who have 3Bacca if now their mods for him will apply on the event. Next time it comes around if you don't have him. Do you guys think it will?
It's possible. They did, if you read the patch notes, they did say that they have removed the fact that it says that Chewbacca with 3PO is unobtainable in that event. So it's entirely possible that next round it comes up.
Could make it easier if you're able to have a little more control over that character, but then could it not also nerf you if you don't have a good 3Bacca? Food for thought.
Go either way. Maybe they can make it where it's required to have a Relic 3 at that point.
They can't change the requirements.
Well, they could. I mean, it's CG.
I mean, in the history of the game, precedent means a lot, in my opinion. For CG, they do tend to follow precedent with stuff like this. We've never seen them once go back and change what is needed for a character, have we? After the event has already.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything.
I don't think they would. Or maybe they'd say that the character is set at this point, but if you take the event character is Relic 3. If your character exceeds Relic 3, then your character model will apply, something like that. I don't know. It's probably easier for them to just have it not apply.
Yeah, just have it be the event model, and
yeah.
Because it wasn't a requirement for any of us. Like anybody who's got him, it didn't, obviously, because he didn't have the character.
Yeah, so at that point, it would turn out to be a hindrance and probably upset people from a already really good event.
Yeah. Something you said earlier, Cubs, was, if they're going to roll out more characters and if they're building towards something, you can pretty much, in my opinion, you can bet the farm they're building towards something.
They tend to.
I don't think this was a one-off. I think with Jedi Knight Luke and now Backpack Chewie, I expect more characters from that era, and that they're going to build towards either an event or a character or maybe a new TB map or some kind of raid, or it'll be something. I don't know what it is, but they're building towards something. And the same goes for those Mando characters, the 3 Mando characters we have. You want to have those characters eventually because you're going to need them to get Baby Yoda or whatever.
I think that's a good segue too, Quaid, into our next subject, which I want to talk about Galactic Challenges, which is looming right now. And we've seen this before where CG has a new game mode coming up, like when they first did territory battles, for example. And then we get some characters that end up having a little bit more use in territory battles. Something that comes to mind is when they did the Imperial Troopers rework. I believe that was before territory battles hit, and they were decent, but then we saw, oh man, look at what they can do in territory battles, and that's kind of where I think they intended for them to be used. 3Bacca definitely seems to have some solid use in Grand Arena and Territory Wars, especially. Arena if you're desperate, but I think there might be better options. How do you guys feel about this being a precursor to the build up to Galactic Challenges?
I called it as soon as I did the kit reveal. I sat there and said, you know what, I think this character is gonna be great for obviously GAC back pocket, obviously territory battles, light side territory battles is obviously gonna make it really good. But what if obviously they talked about Galactic Challenges and then they release a character that's good on multi-phase battles?
Yeah.
I think that's where you're going to see a lot of use out of Chewbacca, 3PO, whatever you want to call them, is Galactic Challenges. I think it could make it a lot easier, depending on. I mean, obviously, no one knows how they're going to set up Galactic Challenges. I'm interested to see some feedback on that, but I think he could shine there.
Galactic Challenges is definitely the big question mark, I think, of the game right now. What is it going to be like? Is it going to be worth the hype? Or are we even hyped for it? And we haven't really had a chance to talk about this in our chats. I wanted to kind of gauge everyone's take on how do you guys feel about Galactic Challenges with the information they've given us? Are you excited? Do you think it's going to come soon? What are your expectations? All of that.
I don't think we're getting them till end of August, beginning of September.
August. That
Yeah.
fateful month.
August, September as we get in at the end this quarter.
Yeah.
Because something else for October, November, going into the Christmas season. So I think we'll have something else.
Okay.
We'll have Galactic keeping us busy up until that point. When it was first announced, I was happy. It's like, okay, this is kind of what I was looking for. It was something that anybody in the community can do. Because the
Mhm.
thing that I was worried about it said about if it was another raid or some kind of thing where some of the community can immediately get benefit for it, and then the rest have to wait till they build up to it. And that's stupid. Please don't do that again. And they
Yeah.
didn't. So it's something that everybody, no matter where your roster is, will get some kind of benefit from doing. From what I've
Yep.
seen, it looks like it's going to be something you can do whenever,
Yeah.
right? So I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact on quality of life. Now we still have to see how it plays out.
Exactly.
But with everything that I've seen, I'm excited for it. It's exactly what I was hoping it would be. I didn't want any of this other nonsense, a rehash of a lot of the stuff that we have. It's something new that everybody can do, whether you're a new player with a lower roster or a Kraken, right? And have fun working toward it. And you'll get some benefit. Maybe you can't get all the way through the tiers, but at least you can do enough of the tiers where you're getting some good,
Right.
we'll have to see the rewards. That'll be another big thing, but I'm hopeful for it. We still have to see it, but I'm hopeful for it.
Cool. So, based on, if I could summarize what you said, it sounds like that everything they've said you like. You still
Yeah,
haven't
so far.
seen it, so it's hard to have a full opinion on it. But the language they've used to describe it so far is what you feel like you want out of a game mode, and so hopefully it comes soon. But obviously a little bit of apprehension there. How's everyone else feeling? Let's shift it over to Quaid. What are your thoughts?
Don't get your hopes up. I mean, look.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, but
over.
I'm not naive. Yeah,
Right, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
let's see, CG loves overselling and overhyping, and then when it comes to the execution, under delivering and just completely the wheels falling off. So that's what I expect.
Take the light final for it.
Yeah, I expect it to come out. It'll be bugged. They'll have to shut it down for 2 weeks and then bring it back. And
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case. But
Well, don't you guys think? I mean, we did the Unity update, and we've got the framework kind of addressed in the game, which at least a lot of issues that they felt they had seem to be hopefully effectively addressed. Do you guys expect to see the game mode roll out smoother because of that, or are you just kind of expecting same old?
I'd like to see BlueStacks get fixed first.
Yeah.
No, the Unity update could potentially help the game. I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that Galactic Challenges is going to be great. I mean, we've all talked about the road ahead at this point, but I was excited to see the road ahead. I was excited to see everything that they want to bring in this game mode, which is exactly what we all have been saying that we needed for however long. It just wasn't enough, but
Right.
I'm cautiously optimistic, I think is a good word to describe it.
Okay. I think that echoes where I think probably a lot of people are cautiously optimistic. So, okay. What are your, so when it comes to the game mode itself for Galactic Challenges, what do you guys expect out of the game mode itself? Well, let's assume that we're at the point now where the game mode has been in operation. It's the bugs are handled. The rollout is kind of settled. What do you guys want to see from this?
I'm expecting a blitz mode type thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm
blitz
expecting
mode, for
something
anyone who
I can-
doesn't know, a Marvel Strike Force, blitz is a game mode in Marvel Strike Force where you take your roster up against increasing. Well, it will match you based on the power of your team, and you do certain phases, right? You go up and up, and it's kind of grindy. I think a lot of people feel like, right?
It is grindy, but there's a lot of theory crafting potential in those grinds because you can figure out and be like, all right, well, I'm gonna throw this team together and see how this does, and it'll match you with a team that's kind of comparable to that level,
Okay.
and you can go up against it and test that team and see how that team does against the team that you went up against. So something along that nature, I think, it's something that we need. They've already said it's replayable. We need replayable content. We need something that we can just get in the game and actually do for more than 20 minutes of our day.
Yeah, and it sounds like that's checked off the box already.
And something that
as far as what they've said. So
they said we are going to use our full roster.
Yep.
So I'm cautiously optimistic about the game mode. I'm excited if they can do it right, but it's CG, so that remains to be said.
Hopefully that's what it is. And hopefully, look, what they need to do is make it fun,
right,
and make people want to play it. So you got to give good rewards, and it can't be so hard like TB is right now, where you just go in, you don't even take a turn, and you get demolished with completely maxed out tunes.
Right.
But at the same time, it can't be like Galactic War, with warmed over and reserved. So yeah, they got their plate full. Like, they need to come up with something. The Sith raid is what, a year and a half old?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they need to come up with something.
Wasn't the Sith? No, I think it's older than that.
Yeah, 2018.
2018.
Is it 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years, baby. God dang, man.
Almost 2.5, actually.
Yeah.
Back in my day, the Sith raid was brand new. Damn kids.
So they've alluded to something kind of like Feats, with galactic challenges and a lot of customizability. Does that improve how you guys feel about the potential of galactic challenges, or does it make you more apprehensive? I know I've seen people kind of all around the place on that.
Well, everything makes me apprehensive when they start doing stuff like that. But I think if they do it correctly,
so if they do it correctly, what would correctly look like?
Well, feat is something that gives a decent reward for the amount of time and effort and thing that you do for it, right? It's an accomplishment, right? It should feel like an accomplishment. It shouldn't just be, hey, way to beat this really tough thing. Here's 3 Clone Wars Chewbacca shards. Like,
here's the title.
Yeah, you get a title. We don't want,
and 5 crystals.
But if it was something like, for like,
here's 5 Carbontes. We're doing a.
No, but if it was like, say, a mid-tier feat, you're halfway through the event, like, here's 10 stun guns. like, okay, I'll take that.
Now we're talking.
We're talking.
High level feat, and it gives you 1 Zeta mat.
So let's take feats and let's
some high level scrap.
So what if you had different levels, right? And and they tell you what the rewards are. And so depending on what rewards you want, that's what levels you go for, and it becomes increasingly harder. Like, it could be Zeta mats at the end or the top level.
Yeah.
And let's say you only get like 3 attempts, and there's 6 levels. So, something like that. So you got to choose. Okay, what do I want to go for here?
And I think Ranger, I love that idea, Quaid. Ranger hit on something I really like to get a pulse from you guys on, and that's rewards, right? Which you hit obviously indirectly on with the feats. Give me 10 stun guns for doing something. I think that'd be incredibly valuable. I mean, right now my desire to do feats is almost nothing. In fact, I don't think I've ever really thought about a feat in Grand Arena. I still make Kyber almost every time right now. I just don't worry about it. But if I was able to go out and tackle a feat and get some Carbontes or get some stun guns or get some Kyrotechs or something like that, I'd be all over that. I'd be willing to really, work hard to get some of those things, depending on the amount. I feel like this game has a pretty big gear crunch, obviously, and that gear crunch has gotten much worse over the last couple years with the addition of Gear 13 and relics as well. And not a lot has really come to the game to alleviate that crunch or make it easier to access some of that gear. Where are you guys at on expectations for rewards? Are you expecting to see an alleviation of this, or do you have confidence that CG will do that, or what are you thinking?
I don't have confidence that they're going to do it, but I'm expecting good rewards. I'm expecting things that are going to be worth my time. So, I don't want to go in there and put it in perspective. Okay, challenge tier 2 of every mythic battle that's ever come out. Challenge Tier 2 is so much work
Yeah.
for meh. You know, they're not useless,
I know.
but they're rewards
Yeah.
compared to Challenge Tier 1, which is a little bit easier.
They're
Still
very stingy.
required,
Very stingy.
But Chirotex, right?
Yeah.
Challenge Tier 1 is especially the one to actually go after and beat.
Yeah.
Challenge Tier 2, not so much. So I'm expecting some decent rewards dependent on the difficulty.
Okay.
Like, don't, as long as they don't do what they've done with GAC, you know,
Yeah.
like
And
avoid
get
that.
restored.
Avoid the way they did GAC and still do, like, avoid that. Like, that GAC to me is not very good rewards with a whole lot of freaking time spent.
Yeah. And I think this is where I kind of get a little bit of hope, because with GAC and with Territory Wars, come with me here a little bit, I almost feel like the reward structure is intentionally lower because they want to keep a small, they want people to play those game modes more for the love of the competition rather than the rewards, so that those who suck at it don't feel like they, you know, just can't possibly get the rewards. PvE content is different than that, though. We've seen...
Hold up on that, Cubs.
cheating aspect
Hold
to
on
that,
on that
too.
thought for a second. Because in a territory war, the difference between first and second is 3 Zeta mats or 2 Zeta mats.
Exactly.
So even if you suck at it, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're falling way behind.
That's what I mean. So that's what I'm getting at exactly, is if you're not doing good, it's not like you're missing out on that much from, you know.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought you meant the
and so, because when it's PvP, you know, there's a winner, there's a loser. In PvE, if you put the time in, especially individual PvE, you put the time in, you put the effort in, you and your buddy can both get the same benefit out of that. And so it doesn't have that, I guess, discouragement factor from just not being as good as the guy next to you. And so that's something that I feel like in the early days of this game, we really saw with like the Rancor raid. I mean, when we first had the Rancor raid, for everyone who's been here for a long time, how worth it was it to put time into that raid and get those rewards? Very worth it. Very worth it. And so I actually kind of have high hopes that we're going to see a pretty good reward structure for this because of the nature of the game mode. It's PvE.
Again, we're hopeful, right?
We're hopeful.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Well, I mean, what would you like? I know what I want out of rewards. I want full, like, Gear 12
Yes.
pieces.
Yes.
Finisher pieces. Fully completed.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Can you?
Or-
can everybody give Quaid an amen?
At least
Gear 12 pieces would be nice, or at the very bare minimum, full stun guns, full stun cuffs, full carbantes. At the very bare minimum, if they want to go bare minimum, we need that.
I want more than that too. I'm with Quaid, because stun guns, carbantes, and all of that, like, we've been getting those as rewards forever. But right now, like, taking a character and slapping one of those right pieces on them just takes so long. It just takes so long. Yeah, full Chirotech, that'd be great. I don't think it's too much to say that if you put enough effort in, that you'd have a chance to get something like that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just one, just one. It doesn't need to be, you get to take a full character to Gear 13 or anything like that. But maybe you got a finisher now. You can go out and get a finisher this round or with this week, and it helps just alleviate a little bit of that.
Here's what I think is most important. I think they need to make it guaranteed rewards. Okay, and what I mean by that is...
Oh, sure. Yeah.
What I mean by that is, obviously, okay, I took first in HSTR today. I got 0 full pieces. I had a guy take second or third, and he got 2 full pieces.
I know, it's so stupid. Yeah.
I need guaranteed full pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally 100% agree with that. Anything going forward where they do these reward boxes of, you have a chance at this and you have a chance, you can take that chance and shove it up your butthole.
Yeah, because you don't get it.
I want to know what the freaking reward is.
Technically, you can get 7 Carbantes out of that daily challenge, right? That's what it says.
That's what it says.
Nobody ever gets it. Oh man. All right. Okay, let's move on from this discussion. I want to finish with one last topic here. The last time we did one of these chats, we definitely had quite a bit of outrage going on in the community. We've seen a lot of outrage recently over the Arnold situation, over the cheating situation. And then since that, we have had Jedi Luke hit the game. We've had a Darth Vader rework. We now have a 3Bacca hitting the game. I think all three of these things have been received pretty positively by the community. So I wanted to get a pulse. Are you guys today feeling better about this game or about CG or both than you were, say, 2 months ago?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
I think I am, but I don't forget. So
Sure.
until
That's
they've got
fair.
a lot of work to do, right?
Mm.
I love the direction. I've been giving them props,
Yeah.
with what they've done. I mean, I thought the Jedi Luke event, even before that, I thought Mando and Grief were really good.
Yeah.
The characters they've introduced. Then we had the Jedi Luke event. I was beyond pleasantly surprised with that.
Yeah.
Then Vader
Mhm.
did and all the stuff that you said. So yeah, that's been really good. Communication's still a little lacking for me. It's there, but it still needs some work.
And we still have
But
no more communication on since the road ahead on Galactic challenges. We don't know
no,
anything else.
it's something that they need to get better at.
Yep.
But I can separate. It's like I can give them credit for all the good stuff that they're doing. It still doesn't address some of the other issues, but it's still in the back of my mind. So if they keep going on the path they're going, and maybe we see them address this stuff, and then yeah, I'll be more and more positive. So it depends. It's the ball's in CG's court. They've got to re-earn my trust and faith in them. It's slowly building back up, but until you demonstrate over a long period of time, not just with a few things that you don't have your head up your ass, then I'm going to still have the stuff lingering in the back of my mind.
So
I
it's
don't.
very possible for you to say, I am happy with this, and this, but I still don't love this. That doesn't
Yeah.
make this better, but I'm still happy about this. That's pretty much exactly where I'm at. I love the way you said that.
I 100% agree with Ranger. I obviously I've already said this. I'm not spending, right?
Yeah.
I haven't spent, not gonna spend because I don't get that feel that CG is doing what I feel like they should
Right.
with my money or with anybody's money for that matter. But um, the ball is in their court. They have done a better job in the last 2 to 3 months than they have in probably the last year, as far as releasing good playable content, an event that we all enjoyed, the Luke event, a rework that everybody loves, unless you had Jedi Ray or Galactic Legend Ray. 3Bacca is pretty damn good.
Right.
Uh, the road ahead, while lackluster, if we just take it for what it was, which was an unveiling of an event or of a new game mode, it was exactly what this community needed.
Mm.
They have done significantly better than they have in a very long time, but I'm very, again, cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing what they can do with this, but given their record, I'm not entirely hopeful, and so until I am satisfied of where they're putting their time and money, I'm not giving them another dime. And I'm
I
happy
think
with that.
that's probably the theme of the video. Cautiously optimistic. Quaid, I wanna give you a chance to say where you're at. Are you feeling better about things?
Yeah. But okay, so two things
Okay.
stick out to me. The first one is the Vader rework. That was a total gimme to a character everybody had that you could now go in and compete with.
Mm.
And and they need to do more of that.
Right.
There needs, they could rework, especially a lot of these tunes that you had to bring up to get your
Mace
Galactic
Windu.
Legends.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
More.
that's prime
Please,
example.
more
Mace
of that.
Windu.
Yep.
Please. And the number 2 point, and so to finish that off, if they would do more of that, they would make me happy, and I think they would make the player base happy.
Yeah.
And then my second point is, they I've been playing this game for 5 years since launch. This is what they do. The Rancor raid was out there for a long time. The tank raid was out there for a long time. The Sith raid has now been out there 2 years. They wait way too long. They do this with the TV maps. They're out there for years before they do anything. This is their MO. They put a new game mode out there, and these Galactic challenges, they'll put it out, and 2 years later we'll be talking about why have they not updated the Galactic challenges?
Yeah.
So,
well, we haven't talked about the Unity upgrade either, and what that may or may not allow them to do. Will allow them to put out content faster? Will it make?
That's the promise, right? And so
I hope so.
ideally,
Yeah.
this stuff is addressed, right? But so far, I mean, we've got the Unity upgrade, and what evidence have we seen that it is addressed? Nothing yet, really.
Yeah.
I would like to see every quarter, every 3 months, they have a new game mode. They have a new raid, a new something.
Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, 4 times a year, man.
Yeah.
You're making millions of dollars. You can't put out something new.
Billions. They've made a billion, man. I mean, that's it's not too much to ask. I agree. And my hope is that this is exactly how they feel too, right? That they feel like, man, this game, we've made so much money, and with our current systems, we just can't deliver on anything. We got to spend this time to update our engine and do the Unity upgrade, or what. I don't understand the logistics of that. We'll talk about that in a future episode. By the way, fam, we've got Hot Sauce. He'll be a member of a panel who he really understands kind of the ins and outs of how that development stuff works, and we'll have to pick his brain a little bit about that. But anyway, I mean, I kind of, the way I kind of see it right now is that is potentially how they feel as well. And now that they've been able to get this update out, maybe we will see a change. And so I think I'm not writing them off yet. I am kind of sitting here waiting, like going, all right, so you've got the update out, so let's go, And I think that may start with Galactic challenges, and then we'll see kind of where things go from there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's they're on a good path. Let's see if they don't F it up.
Man. Would you say you're cautiously optimistic?
You could say that.
All right, fam, that is going to do it for this chat today. Quaid, Rambam, and Ranger, want to thank you guys for joining, and F in the chat for Fulbright. He had to jump out a little bit early, had something unexpected come up at home, and so also thanks to him for joining. Again, this is going to be a weekly show. We're going to be posting these videos every week. If you're watching this on YouTube, and those of you on Twitch watching, this is going to be a Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time gig every week, and we'll have different guests on every week. As these guys here, I'm sure you'll see them quite a bit, but you're going to see other people as well, and so we'll get lots of different perspectives on the current events of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining for the video.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
You bet, guys. All right, who wants to do the outro? Does anyone know how to do my outro? Anyone want to do the honors?
This is President Trump. I would just like to say, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, build a wall around Cubs. He totally deserves it. He has small hands. He doesn't wash them.
And as always, my brothers, don't forget.